Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Techie Tuesdays. I'm your host S. Ravi Kumar. Techie Tuesdays is a weekly show where I answer your tech and career related queries. So if you like my answers, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, family and colleagues. Now let's get started with today's questions. Today's first question is by Nawaz Mia. He's asking, what is the life cycle of a software developer? Nawaz, the life cycle of a software developer differs from company to company. So usually, let me tell you what is the life cycle of a software developer. Usually what happens that if someone becomes a software developer, let's say you join a company as a software developer. So you join a company as a fresher or as a trainee or as an experienced software developer. So you will work as a software developer in that company until you move to next role. So usually the life cycle of a software developer is from 7 years to 10 years. In India, it's usually from 7 years to 8 years. After that, that person becomes a team lead or a senior software developer. So the life cycle start as a trainee developer, then he become a software developer or software engineer or software consultant. Based on the company in which he is working, the designation may vary, but main role or main work for him would be to do the coding. So he will be writing code, he will be getting the requirement from his team lead or project manager, getting the guidance from the senior people, be it project manager, be it technical project manager, be it software architect, and then he will be working on that code or writing that code. So as a software developer in any company in India, usually a person is a software developer till the experience of 7 years or 8 years. After that, it is expected to be a technical, you can say technical lead, or you have to go into a different line. That is, either you have to become an architect or you have to become a manager after 8 years of experience. Many people still remain to be a developer after 7 or 8 years of experience, but in that scenario, of course, they have to learn about new tools, new technologies, on which they have to work if they change the project. But if they are in the project, if they are in the same project, so then they have to depend on the guidance of the architect or guidance of the senior people or product manager, that in which direction the technology is going for that particular product or for that particular software, and if there is any maintenance or not. Otherwise they are going to be there in the same technology. But the life cycle is in general that is of 7 to 8 years, where a person is trainee, then software developer, then senior software developer, and finally he will become the team lead, where he has to manage a team of 2-3 people. And usually team leads in mid-level software companies, or you can say even in large level software companies, team leads are not that much involved in management. They are, of course, they are also software developers, but then they are doing some kind of research work also, like some side by side POC, slight management work, like helping project manager in maintaining some data or providing some data which is required to the project manager. So that's how he gradually increase. So depending upon what is the organizational chart of your company, the life cycle varies from software developer to becoming a CTO or CEO or maybe a VP. So it depending upon the organization chart, you will grow gradually. But as a developer, or the software developer role is only up to 8 to 10 years. After that, you have to move to other roles, or it becomes difficult for you to catch up to the technology and still do the coding, because after 10 years your age will be like 35, 40, and then after that, most of the time, especially in India, like people like experienced people are expected to be more involved in designing an architecture or in management activities rather than coding, because more and more coders are joining in the industry every year. I would say every month. Nowadays, even a college student is also a good coder if he learns very well, or I would say school students, many school students who are from good background, good family, they have created their own application, they have created their own softwares using the technologies readily available, be it no code technology or be it programming languages like Python, C Sharp, .NET, Java. So using programming language of their choice, many people, many youngsters have become programmer. So the competition is pretty much high in software developer job role. So usually you can only stay up to 8 to 10 years in software developer job role. Then after that you have to move to either management or you have to move into higher technical role, be it team lead, be it technical architect, be it technical manager, or something related to that. Next question is from Muhammad Khalid. He's asking, why is everyone who is learning to code learning web development? Is it the only tech field with job opportunities? What about Android development? Khalid, the answer to your first question is partially in your second part of your question itself, that why everyone who is learning to code is learning web development. Is it the only tech field with job opportunity? Yes, web development is the only tech field which more and more job opportunities. So there are many job opportunities in web development because India is a services market. Top 10 IT companies of India are IT services company. They provide services to their clients. And you have, when you develop a web application or when you develop a website, you have long term, you can say you get a long term clientele where you are managing that project, where you are maintaining that application, you are providing support to that application. So that's basically a long term clientele. So that's the reason there are lot of web development jobs in market, especially in India. However, when you say that what about Android development? So when we talk about Android development, I would say that there are a few and large companies which are working on Android development, or you can say iOS development, because in mobile development you don't get large application. Usually what happens that mobile apps are of course getting popular and companies are creating mobile apps, but most of the times what happens that startup creates mobile app and then they grow into a big company. Okay, so what happens in that scenario is basically working in a startup is like a gamble. You are gambling on that particular product, and if that product becomes hit or it grows further, then of course some people get those their maintenance from other people, and in that scenario also service companies come into the picture, and usually service companies take the backend task and maintaining the app. They have smaller teams because app has limited number of feature and it is smaller fields. That's the reason mobile Android development is that you won't get that much jobs in Android development than web development. So yes, there are jobs in Android development also, but compared to web development jobs, Android development jobs are less. That is the reason, because people are learning coding for getting good jobs, and you have good jobs in web development. That is the reason that people who are learning to code are learning web development rather than Android development. Those who are more interested in becoming a versatile programmer, they of course learn Android development, but they learn Android development in their own field. Like I, being a C# .NET advocate and C# .NET solution architect and C# .NET developer, I promote or I prefer to develop Android and iOS application using technology called Xamarin, which is a C# based technology, and it is cross platform, so I can use the same code in iOS and Android and develop native application. So I prefer that thing, and I guide developers or I train developers for doing that rather than learning the default Android development using Kotlin or any other language like Kotlin or Java. So I hope you got your answer. Next question is from Yamini. She is asking, what is the next big thing in .NET framework? Yamini, there are three big things which are going to happen or which are happening right now in .NET framework. Number one is consolidation of all .NET frameworks under one runtime, that is .NET 5 framework and .NET 6 framework, which is coming in November 2021. So earlier .NET 5 framework was released in November 2020, which is the current version of .NET framework, and .NET 6, which is coming and which is the long-term support version of .NET framework, is being released in November 2021. So both of these frameworks are basically what they are doing is they are consolidating the runtimes of all the .NET frameworks. Right now, if you have to create a cross-platform web application, you will use .NET Core or .NET 5, as .NET 5 is the current version. Otherwise, earlier we used to use .NET Framework for Windows app development, Windows application development, or web development, web application development which runs on IIS. And for cross-platform developments, the runtime which was used was Mono runtime. So, and then .NET Core was again cross-platform web development runtime. So .NET Core, .NET Framework, and Mono runtime. So all these three runtimes are being consolidated into a single runtime called .NET 5, or next version is .NET 6, which is the long-term support version. So that is the first big thing. Second big thing is Microsoft's reply to Angular and React. So Microsoft has created, or Microsoft has launched their own single page architecture framework called Blazor. So Blazor was released in, I think, 2019. So 2019 Blazor server was released, and then Blazor WebAssembly was released in the stable version of Blazor WebAssembly was released in 2020. So Blazor, which has two different deployment models, Blazor server and Blazor WebAssembly, that is Microsoft's reply to Angular and React and Vue and other JavaScript frameworks, single page architecture JavaScript frameworks. So where you can use Blazor to create front-end UI, and you can become a full stack developer. So Blazor is Microsoft's reply to Angular, React, and Vue in the form of front-end UI framework. So that is another big thing which is being promoted by Microsoft, and everybody is trying Blazor to create web applications. So that is the second big thing. And third big thing is the next version of Xamarin Forms, which is called as MAUI, that is multi-application user interface, something like that. So I don't remember the exact full form of MAUI. So MAUI, that's an abbreviation. You can search for MAUI, Microsoft MAUI, and you will get the reply to it, which will be released with .NET 6, I guess, or it will come with next year. So I'm not sure when it will be released, but it is right now in preview. You can try MAUI with preview 1 of .NET 6. So MAUI is next version of Xamarin Forms, which can be utilized to create cross-platforms mobile application. So if you are a C# developer and want to develop mobile applications using .NET and C#, earlier we used to use Xamarin Forms to do that, but now after November 2021, we will be using MAUI to develop cross-platform mobile application. Xamarin Forms will be they will be supported, but no new feature will be added in Xamarin Forms. Xamarin Forms will be stabilized, and only security updates will be coming into Xamarin Forms up to the time they will be supporting Xamarin Forms. Otherwise, Microsoft will be giving you the migration guidance on how to port your Xamarin Forms application to MAUI. So the third big thing in Xamarin in the world of .NET framework is MAUI framework. So instead of just one next big thing, I told you three big things. That is, number one, consolidation of all the .NET frameworks. Number two, Blazor UI framework, and number three, MAUI framework. Next question is from Himanshu Chaudhary. He's asking, how much will big companies care about the stack you have experience with? Himanshu, let me ask you a cross question. How much do you care while going to a departmental store to buy something that what that departmental store is selling? I think your answer would be that you care as much as what do you want to buy. That if you want to buy something, is that thing is available in that departmental store or not. If that is not available, you don't care that how big that departmental store is and how old that departmental store is. You move to another departmental store and you look for the same thing which you require. Similarly happens with companies also. MNC companies, they don't care that what stack you are working or what stack knowledge you have, unless and until they have the requirement of that particular stack in a project. So if you are an experienced developer in full stack .NET development, or if you are an experienced developer in full stack MERN development, or if you are an experienced Angular developer and you want to become a full stack Angular developer with Angular Node.js mean stack. So if the company has that requirement, then of course they will hire you because you are an experienced mean stack developer, and of course they will care for you or what stack you are working in. But if the company doesn't have that requirement, they don't care what stack you are working in or what stack you want to go. So basically it's as simple as that. It's the matter of choice, or you can say it's a matter of preference, that what preference you do. It's similar to the scenario that when you go to the departmental store, you care for what you want to buy rather than what the departmental store is selling. In this scenario, you are the departmental store and the big company is the one who is the buyer, so they care about what they need rather than what you know. As simple as that. Next question is from Ikram. He's asking, what are some good graduation project ideas in web development? Ikram, it primarily depends on what are your goals in completing that graduation project. So if your goal is just to get good marks, then the better option would be to buy that project, buy a pre-built project. There are many project: inventory management software, library management software, train ticketing system. These are pretty much common projects right now which are pre-built, available over different websites. You can buy from the websites, or you can visit nearest cyber cafe. So still there are many cyber cafes which are available in front of your college. They might be available in front of the college, because I know I live where I live, I see that there are many cyber cafes or printing shops or you can say photocopying shops, which provides the assignment photocopy and help you in doing all those things. So all those cyber cafes have there are people who are selling projects there for your colleges. I think they are selling for all the streams of engineering. So you can buy a pre-built software or pre-built web application, and you have the project report and everything, and you can just you can just cram that the answers to those solutions, and you can get a good mark. So that is one way of submitting. So the answer, if you want to earn good marks, then the answer to your question is buy a pre-built project, be it inventory management, be it train ticketing system, be it library management, from any of your cyber cafe nearby to your college. Submit it, cram the answers, and you can earn good marks. If your goal is to learn programming, then I would say that choose something simpler or choose something you know. So do a market analysis or what you want to become in future. Maybe, even though I don't think that as a fresher that is that much cared, but learn, maybe you can learn programming, think some ideas, and you will get some good ideas. Maybe replicate a UI, create a mock-up of any popular site that would be a good option to learn, and you can say not learn, you can also learn and showcase your thing. So which I said to earlier question, one of my earlier episode in earlier question also, that if you want to create a showcase or sample example, so the best sample example would be to create a mock-up or replica of any popular website. So what you can do is create a replica of Netflix, Facebook, Instagram, any web application. You can create a replica that would give you a good exposure. You can open source that thing also, and you will learn as well as you can showcase your expertise. So that is the second approach if you really want to learn from your graduation project. So these two are the approach. Either you can buy the pre-built one to earn, if your goal is to just earn good marks, but if your goal is to really learn something, create a replica of any popular site. You might get help also, and you might get guidance from other people also. So I think these two are the options available for you to create a project web application for your graduation. Next question is from Natasha. She's asking, what is your best advice for an aspiring website developer / designer? Natasha, even though website development and designing are two completely different things, but I will give you 3 best advice or 3 words as an advice to any person who is coming into software development work. That is practice, promote, and showcase. So by practice, I mean practice as much as you can, as many samples as you can. If you want to become a designer, practice as many designs as you can. Try out different design, practice about those things, how you can create a replica of this particular thing, how you can create a replica of that thing, how you can create a replica of this website, what new idea or what new design changes you might think in a particular popular product. So practice those things. Number 2, as I said, promote. So by promote, I mean that you have to promote your expertise. You have to promote your things. And how you will promote? There comes the third word, that is showcase. So showcase your promotions in the form of, you can promote your designs on Dribbble site, you can promote your sample application on GitHub, you may host that sample application as a website if you have money. Even though if you don't have money, still you can host on free websites like free web hosting platforms like Azure also provide 1 hour hostings of any website free. Depending upon your location. So you can use those free web services or free hosting providers to host your applications. So I think the best advice from me to any person who is coming into coding field or who is coming into software development field is practice, promote, and showcase as much as you can. So these were my answers to your tech and career related queries in this episode of Techie Tuesdays. If you want your questions to be answered in next episode of Techie Tuesdays, you can DM me your questions with hashtag Techie Tuesdays on any social media platform. All my social media handles are Techie Rathor. I hope you like my answers, and if you like my answers, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends, family, and colleagues. So until my next video, take care. Bye bye.